Oh, with the power of magic.
The power of magic and friendship, where mics have turned on. Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome so much to a Venture Maidens Live Show. It's so awesome to have you guys here. Oh my God, we are just like so over the moon to be here and ready to play some cool D&D for all of you. It's very intimidating that I'm so far away from all of you, so you guys are gonna have to help me like tune in and carry my words over.
For once, we have the power.
Oh God, there's 3 of you and only 1 of me and Rodney.
You got the unicorn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, has everybody here listened to the Venture Maidens podcast before? Yeah. Anybody new? Okay.
Hello, new friends.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you for being here.
Welcome to the party.
So a little bit about us. We're kind of sassy. If you know, I'm sure if you have a friend in the audience, they can definitely tell you. We do use language from time to time. If that does offend you, I'm so sorry. There's the door.
It gets real early.
Snap.
No refunds.
Which leads us back to the first rule. We're really sassy.
We're really sassy. Cyclical, that was an example. Yeah, so we have a really fun game planned for you tonight. And of course, we are joined by a very special guest. So, John, why don't you say hello to the folks out there?
Hi.
John is absolutely amazing. And John, why don't you tell us a little bit about who are you? What do you do in D&D?
I'm absolutely amazing.
No.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing. That's the best description. I work for Kobold Press, which is a third-party publisher for Dungeons and Dragons and for Pathfinder, although a little less so now. And I've been working with Kobold Press doing exclusively 5th edition D&D design for about 5 years. And I am super duper stoked to bring it to
I have your book sitting on my shelf, so when they told me you were going to come here, you have your own books?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I do, yeah.
That makes
I do.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, I like to, sometimes I sleep with them, so.
Oh, yeah, cuddle, like when the nights get cold. God, it's so weird. I always forget the intro when we do the live streams, and now I'm like live, and it's like bananas. I'm gonna drink my water.
Yeah,
the cool
drink your water.
moment of.
Look at this.
I'm not nervous at all.
Look at this. Look at that.
There is a drink in there, believe it or not.
Venture Maidens represent. Look at this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, what quick reminder, though, a little housekeeping is if you could.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Let me, I guess, open my notes, right? First thing.
Notes help.
No, they don't. You're lying. All right, well, okay, let's go ahead and just do this podcast style. Welcome, everybody, so much to a one-shot episode of the Venture Maidens podcast, live in Canada. I will be your dungeon master today, Celeste Konowich.
And I am your human monk, Sayanor, Nassim Etamad.
And I, Sage, play Kara, the bodacious barbarian.
Nice one.
And I, John Sawatsky, will be playing Oren Halfek, the Dwarven Guard Captain.
I'm sorry?
Oren Halfek.
Okay.
Or Halfek.
Got it.
Halfek.
Halfek.
Ah, Halfek.
Halfek.
Yeah.
Halfek.
Drink that water, man. It's going to be a long night. All
A
right.
long night. I'm going to do my best with this accent, but I have no guarantees.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, of course, Brittany wasn't able to join us this time, but so we are doing a very special episode where we take our monk, Saye, and our barbarian, Kara, and you've been sent out on a very special mission. Arnadel is away getting that grows there. It's called the amberwood tree. It's this incredible wood that just seems to shine with orange and yellow, and it's just got this burnished kind of bronze appearance to it. And lately, it has come into fashion in the capital city of Phelan. It is in high, high demand. Everybody wants it. They all want their mod-ass furniture built after it. They want their wood pieces and
Typical Latrin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bragging about everything. Like, oh my God, I have to have this arch built out of this for my cousin's wedding. Otherwise, I die. That sort of thing.
Ornamental pipes.
Exactly. Ornamental wood pipes. Beautiful.
Could you imagine?
And so you know that you are being called out to Woodridge. That was kind of the gist, since a murder has occurred there. And a murder!
A murder, you say?
A murder, yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
A vicious, horrible murder. So you have been given this missive to go to the city of Woodridge and figure out what exactly is going on. The people there, the sheriff who has hired you, they're trying to keep it under wraps. That's why they're bringing out third-party mercenary groups to deal with it. They don't necessarily want to bring in the government yet of this big city to deal with
Clearly
the
they
problem.
haven't met us.
Yeah. Do we know who's died? Why they're trying to keep it quiet?
You don't know yet, but when you arrive, you will be briefed. You also know that somebody else has been hired to go along and that you are going to meet and coordinate with them. This is somebody who's come at the personal recommendation of the sheriff themselves, a dwarf by the name of Orin.
That's right.
That guy, but you don't know it yet. Ooh. I promise,
Dramatic
guys.
irony!
I promise I'll get less nervous and it'll start making sense eventually.
You're doing great.
Oh, thanks. You're so far away. Luckily, I have all of these snacks on the side of the DM screen to keep me company here.
The illusion is broken.
I was gonna roll dice, but now I just have this half a hot dog just staring me in the face, and I'm like, what is going on
Celeste,
here?
you literally broke the fourth wall.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's down. This screen is hiding nothing but snacks. Let's see. Let's get this party started. All right. Yeah. So you have been called out to the town of Woodridge, and you know you're going to meet with Orin the dwarf and the sheriff to discuss what exactly has been happening here. So we're going to skip over that travel zone, and as you roll into the city of Woodridge. City, very, very glorified. Maybe village, probably a population of about 300, 400, and most of those folks are the ones, who go out and actually chop down the trees and work at the sawmills and do all of the processing and everything. So most of the people in the town are the workers. Except as you walk into town, you see that the only buildings that really stand out, there are these 3 incredibly large and garish manor houses that are built sort of in the center of town with this elaborate fountain, and you see that there are 2, inn buildings on either side. One is very clearly posh as heck and was just recently built and has gold gilding everywhere, and of course the amber wood, and it's this beautiful strange structure that looks like it was built yesterday. And it's got this big sign that just says P-I-N-E in big capital letters in the front, in gold. And it totally in opposition on the other side, there's this rusty-ass, run-down inn that looks like it was just built from scraps, called the Tipsy Treant.
Tipsy what?
The Tipsy Treant.
Oh, treant.
I
I
wonder-
said trant.
Sure, the Tipsy Taint. Wait, what did you mean?
Oh no, let's not
Tipsy
get back
taint.
to my taint being pure jokes again.
Oh, no. Throwback. Listen to the episodes. New people, you'll love it.
2 things you don't want tipsy.
Yep. Oh, boy. Orin, which of these 2 establishments are you staying in?
I think Orin would be staying at the Pine Inn. Orin's got a bad back, and
yeah.
the Pine Inn
Real.
is got a really nice bed.
Oh, yeah.
Although he doesn't really fit in with the rest of with the clientele.
Yeah.
But he's aged. He's well into his adventuring careers, perhaps near the retirement zone,
Got it.
in there. And
One day from retirement.
One day away. But not this
It's like-
day.
It's his last mission.
this might be the very last one he needs to do before he can move. out of the city, but so he would be staying at the Pine.
Okay, yeah, and definitely the clientele there, they are people who've never worked a day in their lives, who show up in these immaculate clothing, full gold purses, and are all about investing. These are the people who are meeting with those folks who live in the manor houses and negotiating sales contracts, and they'll casually go out to view where the sawmill equipment and everything is, and go, oh, that's lovely, and then come back and order their very fine elvish wines and sit around and make fun of the people who actually earn a living here.
Right. I noticed they have got like boots that they rent
Yeah.
to go out and visit.
Oh, the
place.
mud shoes?
Yeah.
Yes, there's the mud pile bin that just is outside, and so they just throw away shoes. If they have to walk out into the woods, they just discard them immediately because God forbid. God forbid you get mud in P-I-N-E. They don't call it pine. P-I-N-E.
P-I-N.
You've asked if it's an
goodness, I hate
acronym for
this
something.
place.
It's not.
It's not.
It's just trendy.
I hate it already.
Yeah.
God.
So, maidens, you have been directed to go to the Pine to meet with Oren, who has a little bit more information to give you.
But just a little.
Man, we stick out so hard.
Seriously, oh man. Kara's like, hey, which of these buildings we supposed to go to? I can't read.
Oh, right.
It's this one.
Oh, we gotta go in that posh ass building.
The Pine, I think it's called.
Oh, the
Are there doormen outside?
Pine.
There is a gnomish man who is in an all-black uniform that just has a little gold embroidery around the wrists. And he has a long mustache that he's waxed to perfection.
Okay.
And he's just standing outside with a little fan since the day is hot.
I walk up, I say, hello, sir. We've been invited to meet with, was it the sheriff?
Yeah, the sheriff and Oren Halfek.
Yeah, is he here?
Halfek. Whatever, Oren.
Oren. And he looks at you, Kara, up and down. And then he looks at you up and down, Saye. And he looks sort of around. Yes, that very strange dwarf. He is, in fact, staying here. Please just go on inside and try not to touch anything.
Oh, I'll give you something. Thank you.
And he just turns away from you and continues fanning himself.
I'm not a fan of that guy. Get it?
Yeah,
It's a joke.
Yeah, I get it. Someone died, Kara.
Serious? Jeez.
Oh, that's right.
All right, and as you step inside the building, you see, Oren, did you describe yourself? What are you wearing?
No. So
Yeah, let's get a
Oren is a very tall dwarf.
So he's like 5 feet tall?
He's a tall mountain dwarf. He's very burly, but also kind of hunched with age. The most defining and noticeable thing about Oren is that he doesn't have much hair left up here, but he's got this great big beard. However, half of the beard, and it's pretty clear that he colors it. So
Little touch of gray.
yeah, but half of the beard does not look right. It looks like half of the beard could be something more akin to like roots from a tree or vines or something, but he's dyed it all one color so that from a distance
It's like a texture thing,
yeah,
primarily.
you can tell. That's right. From like once you get close, the texture changes, and so like half of the beard has got this really weird organic thing, but he's like combed it and pruned it to look like, and he doesn't say anything about it, but it's just. And currently, he's sitting in the. Is it like a lounge?
Yes, so there's the lounge, and then there's the bar, which is a separate room, and then there's the bar lounge area, which are
the
all
chaise lounge.
the chaise lounge, which are very distinct and all kind of have a different color theme. So you're kind of like there's like the red room,
Yeah.
and
Are
then
there-
there's like the gold room.
Very important question. Are there different DJs in each room playing
Right.
different variations of
There
house
are
music?
Absolutely, 3 different bards who all look extremely bored. Just in the corner, soullessly strumming. trying not to make eye contact because, they've sold out since getting their
No.
bard degrees.
There's one old man sitting next to one of them requesting the same song over and over again.
Play
Since he's
Freebird!
Bard's like, God, why? I should have been a fighter. So currently, are you sitting in the red room, the
Yeah,
lounge?
Oren's fully just in his pajamas already,
I love it.
hanging out in the lounge, the bar lounge, and he has gone all in on the experience of. He referred to it as peen. Yeah, peen, and he's got a fan. He's got one of these fans, like the gnome's fan.
Yeah.
That he's made maybe out of like part of the lantern in his room and some of
Very
the
DIY.
curtain.
Love
just
it.
very like put that together, right?
Yeah.
And then he's
Crafty.
sort of sitting
Oh my
in
God.
his pajamas, fanning himself. And as you enter, one of the little tendrils of his beard kind of goes up and sort of moves a little bit, and then goes back down again.
Whoa. All right. Yeah, and as you are lounging there, your friend Siegfried comes back from the gold room where he was getting another drink for this hot day. And Siegfried, you can automatically both tell Kara and Saye, seems to be of some sort of importance. He has a badge. He's a very nice pressed uniform. It's not like the black and gold of this establishment. He just looks like an official man and carries that aura of power about him. And Siegfried, is of course the sheriff of this town. And he drifts back over to you and hands a drink. What did you order?
Oh, Oren's been drinking. Well, he asked for some kind of molasses ale, and they just keep bringing him a clear liquid that tastes a little bit like maple syrup, and he hasn't said anything.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough. So he brings you another one of these fabulous maple drinks.
They're not fabulous.
Okay. He's like, well, they don't have it again. And he slides it over. And the two of you, and he turns over and looks you both up and down again, since you clearly don't belong in this town.
Sheriff?
Yes, Siegfried, it's a pleasure.
Saw ya. Wonderful to meet you.
Yes, and
Kara.
Kara, welcome. You must be the...
Adventurers!
he kind of leans
Mighty
down and
adventurers.
he like looks around. He's like, okay, well, we were gonna keep this on the down low, but you can keep screaming that if that.
Oh.
We're adventurers.
I got that. You must be the agent from the Sister of Sorrow that we requested. It's good you've arrived now. Things are getting desperate.
Yeah, should we move to a place that's more secluded?
Yes, let's walk. Let's get out of this stuffy.
I'm not really feeling the vibe here.
No, neither am I. It's sort of bizarre. And he eyes that bard in the corner again. And he's like, it's the same song he's been playing for like 6
Kara-
hours.
Kara leans over to Oren and is like, what you got in that cup there?
I don't know. He keeps bringing it to me, and I keep drinking it.
Oh, good.
Is it doing anything for you? Can I try some?
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. Oren will pass you
Yeah.
the drink. Yeah.
She takes a sip, and it obviously just tastes like syrup in a cup. And like a ramekin, and is like, no, hold on. And she like reaches into her pocket and pulls out a flask and is like, this'll do you something a little bit better.
Yeah, just keep that right on you, dear.
How else am I gonna be an adventurer?
And the sheriff is disapprovingly looking at all of you. Well, we have hired you to do a very specific task, and if we're quite done drinking, I would love to talk about it.
One day, Kara, just one day. Let's wait until we get the mission, and then you can celebrate.
It helps me clear my mind.
I know, but I'm trying to make a good impression. This place is nice.
So, anyway.
So he escorts you all outside, giving a last wary glance to that bard in the corner, and he kind of ushers you around the side of this building. So it's really just those two big inn structures and then these three manor houses. Outside of that, it's just these very rustic kind of cabins all over the place. So he guides you over towards those residential areas, so you're just walking amidst the streets. As I said, it's good that you arrived when you did. Tensions have gotten a lot worse. As you've known, a murder was committed 2 days ago. Rodrigo Grayson was found dead, eviscerated,
Eviscerated.
torn to pieces. That's all I can describe it. We've never had anything like this happen in our town, and of course, it's such a small population that there's no way to keep it quiet. So we're just hoping to get this solved and over with and move on with our lives.
I mean, you're like in the woods. There are bears and things. It wasn't a bear?
He was found dead in his bedroom.
Oh, that is quite unusual.
I don't think bears go to bed very often.
No, I mean, and if they do, you're probably Goldilocks and you should probably leave.
Yeah.
I don't know if this Goldilocks of whom you speak, but
Oh, it's a kid's puppet show.
I don't have time for puppet shows. I'm a sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a man of business. And my business here today is that a man was found eviscerated, destroyed. We
Wait,
can't explain it.
So who's this Rodrigo? Was he, like, really important?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're new around here. Yes, he was the heir to one of the founding fortunes here. If you haven't noticed, and he indicates these 3 manor houses, this whole town, this whole operation was built on the backs of 3 families. And they have guided the town, they bring money into the town, they make all of the trade deals, they essentially control everything. So when Rodrigo was found dead, of course this is going to throw our economy completely out of balance, and of course tensions are high. Folks suspect that the other 2 families might be involved, or it might be an outside influence. We're not really sure.
Siegfried, we were talking before, and you had mentioned the names of the families. And perhaps you could do it again for me.
Yes, let us review.
Yes, let us review the names of the 3 important families.
We definitely spoke about
Which we
earlier.
definitely have
But
been
now we
having-
have paper.
Now we've got paper.
Indeed. So we have the Lamars, which are a human family.
Yes,
We have the Thimblewicks, which is a halfling family.
sounds right.
And then we have the Graysons, which are, of course, a human family. The Graysons, essentially, Rodrigo was basically the last of the line. His parents died in a horrible accident. He was an heir. Now that he has been killed, there's essentially nobody to inherit the fortune, and all of his business interests are going to fall to pieces unless the other 2 can swoop in and, of course, take care of it. The Thimblewicks, there's Phoebus and Thomasina, lovely couple. They've been around here for a while. They control most of the mechanical interests, keep the logging camps up to speed, saws, everything like that. And then we have the Lamars, which, Sylvia kind of reigns over the whole thing. She's the matriarch of the family. She's old as the earth, but you better not tell her that.
And which of the families runs this establishment?
Oh, Pine, this is sort of a conglomeration, but the Thimblewicks are heavy investors. They like to entertain clients here.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Horrible place. It's just awful. He just looks back again, and it's just this garish sign, and the eyes of the doorman. Yes, so of course, I need you to perhaps interview the remaining families, maybe figure out if there's some ulterior motive going on here. We have to be very, very careful. That's why we've brought in third-party folks to get this done quietly. Understand? Quietly.
Yes, understood.
I understand.
I'm sure you do, old friend.
Subtle and quiet. Like we've always been, eh?
Like this perfect party of 3 adventurers I've picked. You all seem up to the task, absolutely. Delicacy.
That's right. Thanks.
So I would start with speaking with, of course, Sylvia and the Thimblewicks and seeing if they know anything.
And then, so Rodrigo's been the only guy that's been murdered, right? No one else has died?
Thank God, no.
Okay.
Isn't one enough?
I mean, definitely true, but didn't, you're trying to check all the things and make sure they're not connected somehow to some other thing, and,
Can
Precisely.
we investigate the scene of the crime?
Of course.
Oh, yes, that's very good. Good
Yes,
thinking.
absolutely. The body has, of course, been removed, and but you can look at what remains. It's not completely cleaned up. The damage was quite extensive.
Who confirmed that it was
Rodrigo.
Oh yeah, who found them?
Well done.
Well, I mean, we could still identify his face. God, woman, I saw him. I've known Rodrigo. He's grown up in this town. I've known him my whole life. Of course it was him.
No, but who found him dead in his room?
One of the servants.
Okay.
Oren is old and trained in history, and he thinks for a moment, and tries to remember if there have been any other events like this. You had mentioned that Grayson's parents died in a horrible accident.
Mm-hmm.
Can Oren recall any other strange tales about Woodridge?
Go ahead and make me a history check.
right on.
First roll of the night. Oh my gosh! Is it gonna be a 1? That'd be awesome.
No.
I'll give that to you later.
Definitely not a 1.
24?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
bam.
All right. Fine. Setting that standard. Okay. So 24.
Yeah.
So the death of Rodrigo's parents didn't occur in the town. It occurred when they were off traveling, so it doesn't seem related to you. But you do know that this area, a long, long time ago, like hundreds of years ago, there was a great battle fought here between elves and humans in the nearby area. And for a long time, there was that just kind of bloody history stained the area, and nobody inhabited this place for a while. But now industry is back. It's booming. Amberwood is big. There's a lot more people coming here. So that kind of mythology has gone away.
Okay.
So that's what you recall.
Okay. I will relate all of that to the others. Everything I can recall.
And Siegfried is like, well, do you need anything else from me? I have more paperwork to do.
Nah, I think we're good. I think, yeah. I mean, we're gonna go up to the house, check it out, and then go talk to the other people, right?
Yeah. Can we find the Thimblewicks here in the hotel?
They should be at their manor home at this point in the day.
Okay.
Wait, what time of day is it?
So it's like 10.
Okay.
So you still
We're
got a
getting here
whole
in the
full
morning.
day ahead of
Cool.
you. Yeah.
It's 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning.
I've gotten my jammies off early then, didn't I?
You got out of bed for this.
Didn't realise that. Right, I was already in my jammies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't even gotten dressed
Haven't
yet.
gotten dressed yet. That's what's
yes,
happening.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all that syrup is just weighing you down.
Needed those morning
Drinking
maple syrup.
all morning.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that good sugar.
Breakfast of champions.
Oh, boy. That's disgusting. Yeah. All right. So with that, Sigrid will make his exit. What's the plan?
Do you want to change?
Wait, grab
put
your
my boots
jammies,
on.
grab your damn axe or whatever.
Yeah. Oren will return to his room in Peen and get properly dressed.
I'll meet you out front in a minute.
And then he'll go and get his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Do we want to check out the room, though, before leaving this place?
This didn't happen at Pine. This happened at the
Oh.
family manor house.
Right.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, so we'll go, wait for him, change, go, head over, do some sleuthing, clue finding there, and then depending on what we see, go and talk to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Scooby-Doo it.
Oh, yeah, team.
Saya's doing a wall sit outside on the building, against the building.
I don't even know what that means.
You know-
Exercise?
Yes.
Why?
Quad exercise.
Warming up her quads. Them thunder thighs.
They feeling good today. Feeling powerful.
Yeah.
Like you can punch a one-shot in the face.
I skipped leg day once, and I'm never letting that happen again.
It was a miserable mistake.
It was.
All right, so Oren, you come back outside, and so you're heading over to the Grayson family home to investigate the scene of the crime.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeedy.
All right, sweet. And before you left, Sigrid went ahead and gave you the key to the place. It's empty now. The servants obviously have been dismissed, so the home is just sort of sitting empty, waiting for you.
The whole
That's
manor
so
is
spooky.
empty? It's empty.
It's empty.
That's
Really?
weird.
The servants have been sent away. People who were there, it was only him living there, so he only had staff of about 5 on hand, and they've all been sent off until something can be worked out with, other arrangements, calling in family members, making sure people get paid or fired or whatever. So the house is empty. Let's go inside.
All right, yeah, let's head on in. And then we said it happened in his bedroom.
His bedroom.
Right.
Yeah. So as you get closer to the home, this is the most stately of the three homes. It looks very historic, probably like it's been there a little bit longer than the other two. Whoever built this home clearly had a taste for the classical. So it's got this wide, beautiful kind of open porch and these column structures and a lovely, well-maintained, neat garden around the place. You can tell it's a 2-story building, easily 6 bedrooms, but so it's kind of weird that there's one guy who is just living here. As you step into the place, the decor is it's textbook. It's the things you buy that look impressive. There's not a lot of personal touches going on in this home, but everything is immaculate, neat, until you get upstairs to the bedroom where this happened. And immediately as you walk in, the body has been removed, but that scent of metallic blood immediately comes to your nose as you approach this room, and you get this just horrible feeling as you get closer, like something really terrible happened here. And as you push open the door, you can see that remains of furniture all around the room that have been scattered, broken. You see that there are stains still embedded deeply in the wood. Again, that scent, they've scrubbed most of it out, but you can still see the smears of blood. Whatever happened to this person, it was grisly and all over the place. You can see that the shutters on the windows have been torn apart, smashed open. The curtains have been ripped as if something maybe came in through the window. And there's clearly a fight, a struggle of some kind, since the bedposts are slashed in half and on the floor, and a dresser is knocked over, and there's just glass and scattered bits all over the room.
Kara would definitely start looking around and see if she could find any chests or things that would hold valuables, and looking maybe not to loot them, don't go there.
We knew what you were thinking.
But see if trying to figure out if something came through the window, was it if this guy's living in this big giant house, is it because he had cool shit?
Yeah, definitely make me an investigation. Scooby-Doo check.
Right. 7 plus a whopping 9.
Ooh, looking around the room, you automatically, just by sheer luck, see that there's this very nice gold necklace lying on the floor. You can't tell what box it came from or anything, because everything in here is utterly destroyed. But you do see some scattered valuables, things that a thief might have taken.
If that was
sell for money.
So Kara turns around. She's kind of looking around the ground, kind of shifting through all the stuff that's been thrown onto the ground. She's like, so I mean, there's this nice shit on the ground. If they was trying to take his money, well, they didn't do a very good job.
I mean, the rest of the house looks perfect, and I don't think they were here for money. Otherwise, there'd be a lot more missing.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. I want to investigate for any droppings, or not shit, but
human shit. Where is
signs, just signs of wildlife, something, maybe a bird, a bear, there's fur, a claw, a tooth, something. I'm investigating now.
I like that monologue.
Thank you.
Oh, our Sherlock Holmes impersonation.
Yes.
8.
8. Wow, you guys are killing it. A 9 and an 8. Looking around the room, there doesn't seem no obvious signs of claw marks or anything. As you're looking at the destruction, you would guess more that it came from a long sword or a bladed weapon of some kind. So all the cuts are really sharp in furniture, and things look like they were smashed, kicked over or torn over. Not so much fur or claws, and you don't find any feathers or bird poop on the ceiling.
On the ceiling.
I don't. You know when birds attack you and they shit on the ceiling. That clearly didn't happen here.
It's their defense mechanism.
And you got that with your 9. Good job.
We're learning a lot about you tonight.
Oh God, I know.
About what you've been through.
Hey man, I don't like birds and I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So Oren, it knows his weapons, and he's going to take a good look at these slashes and cuts, and his purpose is to stare at them and try to deduce what caused them specifically.
Sure, absolutely. What kind of check would you like to do for that? What is Oren good at? Where is he coming at it from? Because I could argue for a history or an investigation or...
Because we've already found the cuts, right?
Yes.
So now he's trying to deduce.
It's like an intelligence
I
thing.
feel like that's
Yeah.
going to be,
Go ahead.
which is great because I'm great at investigation.
All right, absolutely. Go for it.
3.
Why did I give you guys a mystery? This was a terrible idea.
We're ready for a mystery.
What happened?
I'm already really missing Ardenelle because she does the magic shit.
She does the magic.
Eyes,
We don't
and
have the
she's
magic
like,
thing.
Oh, magic happened
We got 3 assholes in the middle of a crime scene. So you're looking at the cuts. You're like, I don't know, a butter knife?
It's clearly a steak
anything.
knife.
It's clearly a steak knife,
That's someone's boot.
which is weird, but I mean, you're pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. We should check the kitchen to see if all the knives are gone.
And then the adventure was derailed.
And then the rest of the town died.
And everybody died. But the wine cellar was delicious.
Is Woodridge known for its Cabernet Sauvignon that it produces?
Oh, they sell a cabinet Sauvignon, which
Cabinet.
you have when you purchase a new cabinet over at PINE.
It comes fully loaded with wine.
They gave, oh man, that would be such a good deal.
We gotta start this furniture store.
Okay, never mind, no more podcasts. We're gonna sell furniture filled with wine. Hell yeah.
This is a Kickstarter
This
to
is
make
really
it.
surprisingly heavy.
It's a good idea.
God. Yeah, so this is, so far, your investigation has gone, well, you think great.
Yeah, we're really
You're
doing
pretty
it.
sure
We're
this
on
is
our
open
A
and
game.
closed.
Idea. Can I search outside the window, look at the garden or the ground, any bushes damaged to the greenery?
Oh yeah, like
Definitely.
that's really good. Yeah, because if they came in through the window, what the fuck did they shimmy up like?
Yeah. Did they
great-
shimmy up? Did they fly
That is
out?
a great question. As you look out of the broken shutters, there is no railing or trees close to the house, so there's no obvious way somebody could have just climbed up here. And you can also tell the glass is on the floor on the inside, so whatever came in came through the window. There is no disturbance on the grass or the bushes around the base of the house, and it is pretty high up.
Let's go on the roof.
Always a
the
good
roof.
idea.
Okay.
I'll stay here.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you Assassin's Creed on the roof.
You
Yeah.
can
Okay.
do your monk thing up there. I prefer the ground.
Yeah.
All right, make me an acrobatics check to get onto the roof.
Oh, well, that wasn't a roll.
Didn't even make it. On
I
there.
rolled another 5.
You're doing
But
great.
at plus 8, 13.
Great. So you definitely you put your hands up and like try to hoist yourself over, but you don't compensate quite right. So you look really silly, but you do manage to do it.
I look back in the room to see if either of them saw it.
No.
Nope. Okay. Nobody saw it. Your
Busy drinking
ego's
whiskey
preserved.
since the sheriff is not here.
Yeah. Haha, sheriff. I'm breaking
Suck
your
it.
petty rules. So you shimmy up onto the roof.
Haha, first try.
Excellent. Excellent. Well. Let's see. Give me an investigation for the roof. There's no obvious damage here.
Okay, 14.
Okay. As you're looking up at the area, so the roof itself is made of this tile kind of structure, so that's really rigid, these red tiles. And you see as you're peeking around that 2 of them have just been cracked, as if heavy footsteps were right on top
Oh no.
of an area. But it's only those 2 spots. So maybe something very heavy was standing up here. It looks vaguely human shaped, like the prints, but you're not
apparated
really
onto the
sure.
roof? Something just apparated onto the roof.
That's not a spell in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
It was Harry Potter. He did it. Case closed.
Voldemort.
It was you, Harry. It was you all along.
You're a murderer, Harry.
That's something we really knew all along.
All along. Yeah, so that is what you get on the roof.
All right.
Are you coming to join me? Where are
No,
you?
heck no.
Okay. Someone was up here on the roof. I shout down below into the window.
She doesn't mean her, does she?
No, she's not that thick. She's smarter. She's a smart one.
Yeah.
Someone else was on the roof.
Let me clarify. This is important.
Wait, do you think that's how they got in here?
Yes.
Okay, so we're thinking for someone who climbs roofs, probably pretty nimble, like you.
Maybe lost their footing or, had too many cakes before coming here.
Left
You
a
know-
Weight Watchers meeting,
you know,
super angry.
Yeah.
There have been some nights where I've ended up on roofs. It just happens.
There's nothing else.
No.
Take the tiles with me. Doesn't feel
You want
important
to
enough.
take some broken tiles with you?
No, I don't.
You can. No, by all means. You keep those tiles. They're your tiles now.
No, I'll park her back into the window, back inside.
Okay. All right, so you are all back together. What are the next steps here?
So, I mean, there is some sort of crazy struggle here. I imagine that the other person was probably injured, right? Like, there's a lot of blood. It probably just didn't come from one dude.
It wasn't easy. This murder was a struggle.
Yeah, they went a little overboard. So we're looking, what? They're probably crazy. I don't know. I blame magic.
I
That's
think
my
they
cause.
worked here.
Oh.
Yeah, we should see if there was a new employee or something like that.
Oh, but yeah. But where? Oh, the servants are all gone.
All the servants have been dismissed. So really the only people left to talk to, according to Siegfried, would be the other two families. There isn't anybody currently remaining in the house.
I'm a little suspicious of the Thimblewicks.
That's racist. Just because we're short.
No. Well, no.
Wait.
It's okay. I'm messing with you.
She's backpedaling real hard. Sorry, I'm confusing them. The Graysons. I thought
They are all dead
the
now.
Graysons. They're okay.
Yeah, so,
Graysons are dead. The Lamars.
or the other human ones, and that's a Sylvia Lamar.
Sylvia.
And she's the matriarch, who's so old.
Right.
Don't tell her that. I didn't say that.
And then there's the Thimblewicks is Phoebus and
Phoebus and Thomasina.
Thomasina.
which is
What a name.
lovely name.
Thank you.
Okay.
I make them. And I write them in the big DM book. No, actually, Phoebus was your fault. I think you named the
Yes, I
halfling
did name
earlier.
his
I was like,
Phoebus.
Sage, I need a halfling. She's like, Phoebus. I'm like, great. Great first live show name. Awesome. Yep, so Phoebus and Thomasina are a married couple who live in town. And then over at the Lamar estate, there is only Sylvia currently there.
I don't know, but Siegfried said that the Thimblewicks are really big into investing, so maybe some kind of deal went south between Rodrigo and the Thimblewicks, and maybe they took him out? I don't know.
I just figured if they owned that fancy pine or peen place.
Piney?
Peeny.
Peony.
Peony.
That's it.
Peony, I like it.
Peeny. Butchering your names.
This is fine.
Then they probably, and he was the last heir. I mean, they seem to have a lot of power already. I wouldn't put it past them to want more.
I mean, yeah, especially as the last one, you only got one person to kill, and then suddenly go from thirdsies to halvesies. I mean, yeah, let's go talk to him.
Let's just talk
Okay.
All right, so we're heading over to the Thimblewick estate.
to the Thimblewicks.
Away! All right, so this house, looks very different from the other two, being the halfling family. If you were looking at it, you would guess that this family has something to prove. Everything here, big old marble statues in the gardens.
Tryhard.
Yeah, big, like, elaborate fountains that are powered by something. You can clearly tell there's magic involved in the whole setup, and everything is, like, they have these beautiful, ornately carved, like, golden gilded gates around the entire property, and, like, you hear songs of exotic birds coming from around there. You're not sure, you don't see any birds, but you just hear it, like, as you pass through the gates. All of a sudden.
Enchanting. Little bits of Oren's beard start to sort of sway to the music and the songs just independently.
What's happening to you?
Sorry?
We all want to
Nothing.
know.
We're good. We're
Yeah.
good.
Kara's like, no, wait.
Can I touch it?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I touch it.
Yeah. It feels like it's like roots.
Does it move when I
Yeah,
touch it?
kind of moves away and grabs your finger a little bit.
My beard definitely does not do that. Like, you use a special conditioner or something? Like, I don't...
It's a long story, maybe another time.
Okay.
Fair enough.
It's hard to tell unless you're close, though, right?
Sure.
Like if I'm back here, it's,
Yeah.
it's normal, right?
You can't tell.
You can't tell. No.
No.
You can't tell. It's good.
Totally normal.
It's good.
And to the sound of birdsong and this awkward conversation, as you're walking closer to this door that is just completely covered in foil gold leaf and carved with birds, and you can see that there are little jewels for their eyes when you approach this set of doors.
Enchanting.
Yes. You knock upon the door, and you hear from inside, yes, who is it?
Who are we?
Wait, what?
We're just a...
There's no cover story.
We don't... Should we say we're adventurers? Siegfried told us not to say that.
We don't even have a badge. I mean, what are we doing here? Who are we?
Oh, I got it. We're
Just
like...
a minute, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we don't want any.
We're missionaries from Pelor, here to spread the gospel.
No one's going to want to talk to us.
There's a long pause from the other side of the door.
We're realtors. We're here to see if you're interested in some property.
Well, which is it?
Both?
What? Why can't we be Pelorgan realtors?
And at this point, the slot opens up in the door that's at about like waist high from you, and you see these big set of green eyes kind of peering at you through the other side. Okay, well, wait here. I'm going to check with the mistress if she wishes to speak to Pelor realtors.
We're spreading the gospel of prosperity. That seems to be.
Yeah, no, I got that. I'll be back in a moment.
How are we going to
And the
ask about
slot
the
slides
murder?
closed again.
Oh, because we're talking about property values, and if someone died in the house recently, then the neighborhood goes to shit, right?
Yeah.
That's how that works. I read about
Is
it.
that how that works? Kara has a keen mind for business.
You're
I don't think this has been expressed before.
Princess, all right? She's very worldly.
surprisingly insightful about real estate.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know, that's how I like to keep it real.
That's good too. Well done.
Oh boy. All right. And as you are having this conversation, this person is gone for a little bit of time, and then finally the door opens, and you see a younger halfling woman standing there. The mistress will see you.
Amazing.
Please, if you would accompany me into the lounge. She is very interested in whatever you have to say about real estate, specifically. If we could veer towards that, that would be wonderful. And she leads you off into this very, again, overdone, like, chandeliers everywhere. Too much like one of those Baroque kind of ceilings where there's just gold leaves everywhere for no
fucking
reason.
Cherubim.
Yeah. You're like, why is there a naked
Like
baby
harps.
here in marble? Like, I don't understand. These big tapestries of, like, unicorns and dragons hung all over the walls. And they sit you down on these, like, rose-colored sofas. Can I get anything for anyone? Tea, perhaps?
No, thank you.
I'm quite fine, thank you.
Okay. Thomasina will be in to speak with you shortly. Make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you.
And she
Looks
glides
out awkwardly.
out of the room. You take out your flask again?
Yeah,
Is it empty yet?
It's like, oh my god, this is terrible.
Yep. And pretty soon another halfling woman comes down. You can tell she matches the style of her house. She is wearing this red velvet gown that has this beautiful brooch that's way too big for her, just like right smack in the middle of her chest, and sort of this headgear tiara thing going on. And she glides in. Oh, the realtors, was it?
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. You know, this town is on the up and up, and I must say, it is about time people took interest in our beautiful little area.
You have a stunning home. You have impeccable taste, obviously.
Oh, dear, aren't you so sweet?
Truly, I can see your influence here in the peony across the street. The very lovely inn.
I'm sorry, the what?
The what was it?
The
Yeah.
the peen,
Peony. It's a place with the boots.
the piney.
P-I-N-E? Across the street?
Yes.
Peony.
Not like the flower.
It's
That's
like
what
a
we said.
flower.
Oh, like a flower. Oh, an easy mistake to make, but no, it's definitely not pronounced that way.
Wait, then how do you say it?
Yeah, P-I-N-E.
Peony.
It's an acronym.
Peony.
What does it stand for?
Oh, well, we haven't decided yet, but
Oh,
it sounds flashy, doesn't it? P-I-N-E. You're
It
like,
does. It does.
Well,
Very
clearly it's,
Yes.
working to get folks such as yourself. But I'm so rude. Thomasina is my name. Welcome, of course, to my home. It's interesting timing that you've arrived. We've had some, well, hullabaloo lately, but we are happy to see that people are taking an interest, of course, in Woodridge.
yes, we heard recently that the manor house next door was opening up for investment. I would like to make a deception check.
Sure.
Because I'm clearly full
Your
of shit.
eyebrows are raising and hers are raising. Like, what are we actually talking about here?
Could Oren help with this deception?
How would Oren like to help?
With just some fast talking.
Sure.
And just sort of like just
Fill in my hemming and hawing.
yeah, like
Yeah.
just trying to make it look like she really knows what she's talking about.
Maybe get like a middle of folder out and kind of like sort through it.
Yeah.
That's always really intimidating.
I don't think that's in
feel
my
like.
explorer's pack, but
Yeah. Absolutely. Go
Do
ahead.
my
Yeah.
mini
just try and,
scrolls.
so I'll just if I can help, then you
Yeah,
can roll
get-
with it with
get
advantage.
advantage.
Oh yeah, all right. So the first roll was a 13. Ooh, the second roll will be a 17 plus
That's great.
2, so that'll be a total of 19.
Okay, so as you're raising your eyebrows and she's trying to follow your train of thought, and you're just like, the Deb is up this week, and yeah, in its business things that I don't know. You're saying business words, and she's just like, whoa, and is mystified and staring at you, and you're not talking, and she's like, what is the strategy? Horrible business that, but. That's quick. People are already looking to take over the manor. I suppose that's good. We can't have something beautiful building like that sitting empty. Who do you represent, out of curiosity?
We are
Is it one of the nobles of Phelan looking to buy in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're here to see.
Interesting. Who?
Oh, we're not at liberty to give out that information. We're here to gauge other people's interests in the property first before our client is ready to place a bid.
We are a third-party organization who is looking to investigate the realty situation.
All right.
In Woodridge.
I think we can cut through all this nonsense. I think I understand what's going on here. Just tell me what Sylvia bid, and I will double it.
Oh, double. That's an interesting idea, isn't it? Double.
Is it this person, Sylvia, you said? Is it her interest alone that is...
Well, you don't have to be coy with me. She's trying to own the rest of the town. She might as well try and own that as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this was part of her plan at all, to off the poor boy and then move in and swoop on that property.
Do you really think? I mean, we have seen her walking about town. The old lady. That's,
Don't let that fool you. She is a very mean person when she wants to be.
Your restraint is admirable.
Thank you. I'm a cultured lady.
I mean,
Well, we can certainly get back to you. We have a lot to consider now, obviously, with this new offer.
Don't forget what I said. Double. Run right back and tell that to whoever you would represent.
very well. Yes. Do you think that maybe, since there, as you have said, that there has been other interest growing in this area, that someone outside of the town might have had something to do with removing a player from the game, so to speak?
Well, I suppose, I mean, our sales are doing really well, and obviously people do want to get in on that, but I mean, we have a very strong bid between the three of us. I don't think anyone could muscle in here, especially with all of us working so actively to secure our own interests, let's say. And it's hard for me to believe that the boy was just killed. If it has already reached the capital, well, then perhaps there is something more nefarious going on. Though I would look closer to home. And she kind of side-eyes out the window at Sylvia's manor across the street.
I want to roll an insight check.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a great thing for investigations.
You know, I'm not a detective.
I think we got that.
I'm a fighter. So that's 6.
Oh, okay. She seems to be telling the honest-to-God truth. And the way she's talking about Sylvia, she doesn't sound very nice. Even you don't really like Sylvia. Yeah.
I want to talk to her.
She sounds awful.
Yeah. All right.
Well then, we should report back to the interested parties, or
You'll hear from our people. We'll call your people. We'll do lunch.
I'll be waiting.
Fabulous.
I'm willing to host tea beforehand. Let's just arrange it. You have my sending stone number. It's my direct sending stone line.
Oh, very nice.
Got it.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah. And we go to shuffle our way out of this house.
Can I just say one thing? That went much better than I thought it was going to.
For all of us.
we are experts here.
When you said
few things.
Pelorgan Realtors, I thought, I'm in for a real afternoon here, Oren. But that was excellent.
Oh, I do
Filling
what
it.
I can.
Every day. All right, so what is the next step here? I was just blown away by that magnificent conversation.
Oh man, so we gotta go check out the Sylvia lady.
Yeah. I say we just go straight there.
I agree.
Right.
All right.
So,
Straight in a line is where we go.
You just march right across the street after
Right there.
leaving this house.
Okay, no, we gotta come up with the story first so we don't sound like fucking idiots
Yes.
again.
Oh, that's a good idea. How about Pelorgan Realtors?
It seemed to work the first time.
Alright, yeah. Sure.
Okay. Story figured out.
Boom.
All right,
All
we're
of this
sticking
is
to
solved.
it.
All right, so you jaunt across the street in your official realtor walk of power.
We realtor. No, there's no R word for it. Realtor strut.
Realtor run.
Realtor run.
I imagine like a Baywatch slow motion as you're like running with pictures of houses in your hands.
Just like throwing flyers out.
Yeah, contracts. Here we go. Open house signs. Absolutely.
The venture capitalist maidens.
Yay! When you Google us, that shit does come up. So, venture capitalists.
Our first investment will be cabinets full of wine.
Yes, we circled back. Oh, it's perfect. It's so perfect. Wait, I can't remember how to play D&D. I'm just obsessed with that idea. So you jaunt across the street to this other manor house, which is more in the style of the first one, more of a classical. It seems like this house has been here for a while. But this one is very open, airy, white, simple. You see that there are lovingly tended rows of roses out in front of the house. So you see in different colors, so beautiful pinks and yellows and oranges. So somebody clearly spends a great deal of time cultivating this whole area. And as you walk up to this house, the doors are actually open, and you see that there are kind of shimmery curtains that hang throughout the space. It's very open, very to let the air in and the cool breeze go through. Yeah,
like
very
it.
open and airy.
Oh, it's inviting, isn't it?
It is very
Peaceful.
inviting.
Actually, as we're walking up, I would like to make a dwarven stone cutting check, because I want to try and get a sense for like how old this building is. Like, has it been here? Does it fit in with the rest of the neighborhood? Is this like, because obviously, like the Thimblewicks obviously look like new money who like strode into town or like, we're loaded. So I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
So.
I
Absolutely.
love whenever dwarves do this. It's just, I picture them just leaning against the wall, like,
She's just
whispering
like,
to it.
Well, you established you all also have to eat it, right? Like a little bit.
yeah, you gotta take off.
Lick it.
Is that a
little-
natural one? Are you serious?
The stone is telling you lies today. You know, you're in a luxury wood town, so even the
It means
stone
nothing.
feels insulted that you just didn't go right to the source. It's like, hey man, we're just here for the free ride. So yeah, you're
Damn.
like touching the stone. No, okay, maybe you can't find anything that's made out of stone. Let's save you that. Everything is like wood panels and just this beautiful, again, this red kind of orange wood that accentuates like the white curtains and the open space. So the
All right.
stone is not speaking to you today.
Oh, perhaps another time. All right, shall we? Well, if the door is wide open, are we just gonna stride on in?
You also hear, as you get closer to the house, sounds of laughter and music coming from what would be the backyard of the house.
Well, there's no party we can't crash.
We're Palo Realtors. Everybody wants us here.
I say we sneak to see where the sound is coming from. Let's not make ourselves be known just yet. We have a chance to search the house if people are outside.
Wait, we're gonna go in the middle of broad daylight into somebody's open house.
Your
Yeah.
realtor's open house. It's fine.
Yeah. Come on, it's fun.
I guess we're taking open house literally. So right out from under them. I mean,
I'm surprised you're second guessing this.
you know, I'm imagining this conversation and with the lady Sylvia being described as she was.
He could take her.
I mean, probably.
She's so old.
But then there's
don't
gonna
say I
be
said
another
that.
dead body. And then we're gonna have to deal with that. And then we're gonna have to investigate the murder that we created. And then it's gonna end up like that puppet show Dexter.
I never saw that one.
Yeah.
It goes on forever. There's like 12 seasons.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so then what do you want to do, Kara?
I don't know. We should, I don't know, probably talk to her. But I feel like we should wait till at night and then sneak into people's houses because, you know, then they're asleep.
Sure, let's do that. Okay.
So what are we doing right now?
Hello.
You're just yelling, hello, in the front yard?
From the front yard, knock on the door very loudly, make our presence known.
And you hear a voice, the music kind of pauses, and you hear, oh, yes, come around, come out back, we're all back here.
It's a party.
I like this lady. She knows how to spend a Sunday.
All right, so you want to walk around to the back of the house?
We are traipsing around.
Oh,
to the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
definitely.
That's for sure happening.
So, yeah, as you walk around, again, these these rose beds just lovingly created around the area. And you see most of the property, everything is well manicured here. There are fruit trees that line the edges. You see a small cottage, like kind of off in one corner of the place that looks like a garden shed or something. And as you swing around the back of the house, there's this lovely setup back there where they have these 4 columns, and then there's silks draped from each one, kind of creating like a pagoda area back there that's ringed by roses there. And there are a bunch of people seated around a table outdoors. There's an assortment of women and men, both just all jovially having a good time. They're pouring this pink drink from pitchers. They're all laughing. Somebody's playing a harp. So it looks like a gathering of like 12 friends, just kind of hanging out. And at the center of it, there is this woman of a modest age who has silver hair that she's plaited back in this kind of simple style, simple but elegant, like her house too. She's wearing this kind of pale green silk dress, and she's got a drink in her hand, and she's laughing, and the harp is playing. And she said, welcome, newcomers, please come. Who are you? What brings you into town? Drinks?
Aye.
And everybody's like, yes, new friends! And you can tell they've been day drinking. So they're just like, hey! And 3 glasses are ushered into your hands with this fizzy pink substance inside of them.
Immediately drink it.
Yeah.
All of it.
That goes
One
down.
gulp.
It tastes like a summer breeze and extremely alcoholic.
Whoa.
There's bubbles in it.
Whee.
Saya's just holding hers to fit in.
Yeah, you're that person at the party. You're like, cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing. You're like, yeah.
Sure.
Tight.
So, you all look, well, very, very capable. You must be here to investigate the murder.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
so
that's
glad
so
we
good.
dropped that fucking act. Oh, girl.
That's
you don't even
exactly
know.
right. I mean, you nailed it.
You're clearly adventurous.
Straight
I mean, look
away.
at that sword.
Oh,
God,
And you're
you
not
are
from
the-
around here.
You are the only one who's known this
You know-
all day. Everyone else is just
Really?
an idiot.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate, but yes, well, it's good to have somebody in here. The local constabulary seems to be doing nothing about it. It's outrageous. We have no idea who killed him, and he was a sweet boy.
So everyone's been saying he's like a sweet boy. How old was Rodrigo?
Like, 20, 21, marriage proposals flying in, but you know how young men are. He was pushing his oats, so to speak.
pushing his oats.
Just around.
Don't you
Is that what
they
they call
sow
it?
them?
You know, you have the oats and you're like, oh, one day I should sow them, but today I shall push it.
That's literally what
Along.
the kids are saying these
Yeah,
days.
yeah,
That is,
You
yeah.
gotta,
You got it right. Nailed it.
You gotta
Absolutely.
push it real good.
Just pushing them around,
Pushing the oats again.
like one does, pushing their oats.
I'm pushing
I
oats
pushed a
right
few
now.
oats in my day. Let me tell you.
Honey, you can push my oats.
What
What is in this drink?
Magic.
Ah, shit. Can I have some more, please?
Absolutely. Yes, of course. Well, I figured they would be sending somebody eventually, and I did know him quite well and the family. So if there are any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them. Whatever I can do to help.
He died a very violent death.
Yes, so I hear.
Was he a trained fighter?
He did dabble in swordplay. Young men, you know, it's fashionable. He was a capable fighter, but of course now, with the death of his parents, he had to return and, you know, run the business. So he did discard that, I think, but other than an occasional passionate duel, I don't.
Do you feel like he was really interested in the business?
Not particularly. But he did have a lot of money and was trying to do right by his parents' name. I suspect he was in the process of hiring somebody to manage it for him. Poor dear.
Oh, wait. So did he have any other family members, or was it just? Did he have any siblings?
It was just him, tragically. His parents never conceived another heir.
I wonder if he was trying to sell out. Then I'll tell you guys later. I need to stop drinking this.
Have you spoken to the Thimblewicks by any chance?
Enchanting place, that is.
That's one word for it.
That is a word you could use for it.
Tomanisa or Thomanisa?
Thomasina, yes, that
Thomasina.
spiteful young lady.
She showed a little bit of interest in the estate. Which,
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
She's been trying to move on that place forever. They are hungry to take all of this town for themselves. They care nothing for tradition or the people here.
She has also, I mean, so with the three families here, it seems like there is a real delicate balance because, I mean, now that one family's pretty much dead, like, you know, it seems like there's a real lack of balance of power.
I would certainly say so. Right now, since it's only two of us remaining, well, that third of that power is going to have to fall somewhere. And I understand that given this death or this situation, I can't help but assume that somebody after that piece is responsible for this. I do suspect foul play, and I think you should look at the Thimblewicks very closely.
I'm gonna try to redeem my insight check.
Maybe she's easier to read. She seems more like an open book.
She's drunk, that's for sure.
So I would like to use my point of inspiration to give you advantage.
Oh, that's very
I
sweet.
shall remove my crown of inspiration. Oh,
You
it's
can
buckled.
keep it on. It's fun. The gesture is appreciated.
Nice.
Well, that was 18.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
She completely believes what she's telling you. And there is, honest to God, like, she is upset that she really does think the Thimblewicks had something to do about it and is quite upset about it.
Do you know about any, you guys did business together all the time, I'm sure. Do you know of any deals he was planning on making with them or someone else in town?
I can't say, other than the Thimblewicks have been very active taking away, well, contracts in Phelan from both Rodrigo and myself. They are really playing their non-human card, let's say.
All right. Thank you very much for your help.
Could you all make perception checks for me, please?
Toads my goats.
Natural 20.
Oh,
First
Natural 20! All right,
Nice.
you definitely hear what just happened. You begin to hear a blood-curdling scream coming from the far side of back towards the manor house, where the Thimblewicks are, where you just came from. You hear the sound of shattering glass.
Oh no.
And then you hear a couple other people begin to scream in chorus from right over there. And the group at the party is like, what? They seem to have picked up a little bit about it, but they're just, what's going, what?
Okay, we should go.
Agreed.
Half of Oren's beard turns into a fist. Close.
Oh, God! She's looking at you, she's like, oh, God!
I gotta go!
Okay!
And he runs.
Yeah,
Over to
and
the house.
you see a couple stand up from the drunk party, and they're like, whoa, and kind of stumble forward and start running after you to see what's going on. You know, it's like when people call fight, and then
Yeah.
everybody's like, yeah! And they all go run immediately to the scene. So you are being followed by like two stumbling drunk party goers as you run towards the manor. And you see, as you get there, that the large front window, there's this horrible stained glass window, like right up at the front, has been completely shattered. And you hear the sounds of metal striking wood coming from inside the room, and a short scream that ends very abruptly.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Grim.
Is the window on the first or second floor?
Second floor.
Fuck.
I can run up vertical surfaces now.
Come on.
Do
it.
I run up the walls.
Okay, as you run up the wall, you see this scene before you. You see that there is a fallen halfling man who is just crouched against one side of the wall of this room in complete fear. You see that this horrible wound has already been gashed through his chest by this figure standing over them. That appears to be, it's a humanoid shape, but almost entirely made of like plates of bark. standing above, and it's holding this long black sword that flares with these red runes upon it. And as this thing is standing over him, you arrive in time just to see another striking blow as it pierces the body of this halfling, and the scream was cut off entirely. So now this figure is standing there in the room. Its back is towards you. What would you like to do?
I want to cast Hold Person.
Okay. Do I get a save? I think so.
Let me find the spell.
I get to look at my monsters now. Yay! This hot dog is staring me in the face, you
she's
guys,
just
from the
eating
other
snacks.
side.
You're just eating snacks.
The monster is just the hot dog, actually.
No.
She's gonna throw it at us.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That would be so ketchup-y. All right, and what do I got to beat?
My
Got a
do
15. No, I make it. So this creature does not seem affected at all as you throw your spell towards it, but it does pause, like it notices you tried to cast, and it turns towards you, and you see that there is not anything inside the plates, but they form the shape of a person. And as it turns, you can somehow feel that its attention is on you. You don't know how because it doesn't have eyes, but there's this weird kind of green that seems to glow around the pieces of bark as it stands there with this wicked-looking blade. And it seems to nod at you, and then it goes charging directly towards you.
I'm outside, standing
You're
at a
standing
90-degree angle on the wall.
All right, sweet. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Sweet. That's 17?
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, excuse me, 15.
All right. So this thing comes rocketing towards you, and like at the last minute, as you're standing kind of in the door frame, it seems to scoop to the side, and it's brushing past you, and it climbs an arm up onto the roof and lifts itself up. So it's not attacking you. It seems to be running past and by you. So you can get an attack of opportunity if you would like, but it is not going for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh man, grab it.
No. Okay, wait. So attack of opportunity means I get to do it again?
No, you get one. And what was that one?
It wasn't good. It was
I got that
13.
from your face. No, that's not going to hit it.
Yeah.
So your just sword bounces off of the wood of this armor. And now that you're looking at the wood, it's definitely made of amber wood, that same beautiful wood that the town has become so famous for as of late. And so your strike just completely bounces off the thing, and the creature ignores you and climbs up onto the roof and begins to try and run off. So, are we letting the creature go, or would we like to move into initiative to try and catch it?
Oh, we should definitely try and pursue this asshole.
I
Yeah.
think we should stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let's
want to
get
keep
him.
going after it.
Okay.
Tackle him, hold him down until we can get there.
Oh, I'm gonna grab that.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll initiative
Yeah.
then.
I don't want to touch it.
Initiative!
Oh, snap! 19. I rolled a 20, but I got a 19.
Aw, you're so old.
How old?
Why is everybody so old in this world? Okay.
14.
6.
God,
I'm
it's so
just
good.
excited to be here.
Oh, look at it fly!
Oh,
Oh.
my tiny legs is not catching that.
All right. Okay, so Oren, you will be going first, but the situation as it stands. So you two are down on the ground. So it's a 2-story house. So let's say it's about 20 feet in the air above you, on top of this house right now. Saye, you are about 10 feet below it as it just jumped up onto the roof. So it is directly above you, standing on the roof. There's Saye, and then at the bottom we've
It's
got
us.
our 2 dwarfs. So Oren,
Fun
what would you like
times.
to do?
Man. So it's on the roof, and it's obviously gonna make a beeline away.
Yes.
Okay. I will, as fast as my dwarf legs can, I'll go around the back! And And I'll head off around to the back of the manor as fast as I can, taking the dash action,
Okay.
moving a total of 50 feet, try to get around that.
Got it, yeah. So you
Nice.
don't make it all the way quite around, but you get to like that back corner of the house so you can see the backyard now of where it's going to jump down, presumably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
All right, so you are now on the other side of the house. Make my little drawing pictures that help my mind remember things. Okay, great. And then Saye, what are you going to do?
I want to attempt to disarm it.
Okay. All right. So you're going to take a move to get up onto the roof next to it? Okay.
I'm gonna run up next to him and try and kick
All
the
right.
sword out of its hand.
Go ahead. Make me an attack roll.
Oh, natural 1.
Going great.
I'm a 9th level monk.
Oh my god, use your gift.
No,
I can't.
get another action.
I have
get
another
another
action.
action.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
For
well,
those of you who don't listen to the podcast, Nassim always rolls like poo-poo butts.
Yeah.
And it's very sad.
And I have a lot of different d20s.
It's true.
Okay. Well, that time it was 14.
Okay. All right. So you go to try and kick like the wrist that's holding this sword, and it's just like it just encounters solid wood, as if the sword itself is fused to the hand. It's not a separate thing. This is all one creature. So you just basically kick it in the wrist. And
No
nothing
barks,
happens.
no little pieces of bark fly off or
No,
anything?
the wood is very hard. It's very strong. One of the reasons it's so sought after. It does not scratch easily. Yep. All right. And then moving right along. So my monster is going to make a run.
Well,
for
now I can use my ability, which is another round.
it. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Yeah. So you are burning your gift of the present
Yes,
to
I
go
am.
ahead and pop another round.
Now I'm going to try and tackle him, because that's not going to work to disarm him. Natural 1!
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
I feel
One's
bad.
Way.
In the jail.
Okay, so you go and you're trying to attack this creature, and the creature clearly is like not trying to engage with you, and it seems to turn towards you like in anger as you're just feebly trying to
I'm
hit
just
it.
clawing at it, essentially, like, wait, please!
And it kind of kicks at your leg and
Ow.
just starts running away from you at this point. And it is going to run and jump down. So Oren, now it appears within like 10 feet of where you were, and this creature just seems to glide elegantly through the air, just landing. It's not even with a hard thump as it gets to the ground. It just springs lightly upon the grass and begins to take off. So it's moving at a dash, so it took 30 to get down, and it's going to be 30 feet running into the tree line. So it's just running for its turn. All right, and then Kara.
Kara quickly calls up. So hey, was there anyone? Is a person in the house okay?
Didn't look like it. Might want to go check on him.
All right, then Kara will
Definitely didn't look like it.
Kara will run upstairs and try and find that person. And can she make it upstairs into the room in 35 feet?
Sure, yeah, since you're just running up, bursting in the house, and you know where the room is. Ooh, so dead. Oh, so much halfling guts. Blood everywhere. You think there were a few strikes gone in before you all got there. The last one was just the absolute killing blow, but there was definitely the same amount of rage. It wasn't as long, and the body was smaller, so there's not as much blood, but very, very angry, brutal murder.
She looks ready, like identifying marks on him, like jewelry or anything, to be like, is he? Because we didn't meet Phoebus. To
Yeah.
is this him?
He is dressed in very garish, awful velvet, was wearing jewels, these silk slippers. You can take a pretty good guess that this was probably Phoebus.
All right. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Well, that'll be my turn. Nope, he's dead. Ugh.
Good turn. All right, and then Oren. So this creature is about 30 feet away from you.
That's a little fodder. Okay, I think that I will. I'm gonna burn action surge to get next to it,
Nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
leaving me with a big grapple.
All right, let's do
So
it.
Oren's gonna run up to it, his axe on behind his back, and he runs up and he tries to tackle it around the legs.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
ahead. Roll the opposed grapples.
So.
Ooh, I did not do good, so hopefully.
23.
No, that definitely beats my 14. So you
Nice.
grab onto this creature.
You're
and
not going anywhere.
Yeah,
And he hangs on to it.
It's
This
this
small dwarf grabbing this tree monster.
it's human-sized, tall human-sized. Yeah, so you grapple onto this thing, and it's the oddest sensation because it's just like plates held together, so they kind of move. There's not a body in it to grab, so you're just like kind of scooping all these plates right into your, and you're like, no, don't leave, and it's struggling against you, and you can see that as you pull it closer, the grass on the ground and the plants around it seem to like begin to grow and flare up and are starting to like stick and claw to your boots. It's not like an attack or anything, it's just that the natural environment seems to be responding to your animosity as you're holding this thing now in check.
Oren's beard has kind of gone in and helped with the grapple a little bit.
Yeah, it's like holding the eye sockets right now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't, like
Man.
of its helmet.
Can I see this from my place on the roof at all?
Yes.
What's happening? Okay.
Yeah. All right, and then moving to you, Sayu.
Oh, okay. Do you need help?
Oh, I could!
I'm trying to decide between that and helping inside. Okay.
No,
I'm gonna-
he's definitely dead. No help needed here.
okay. Then I will run towards Oren and I run towards Oren and want to try and kind of apologize to the tree guy and say, sorry, I'm not going to attack you anymore. Are you a part of this environment here? And try and be very diplomatic.
Sure. Go
Are
ahead
you a
and make.
spirit of this wood?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Use your elemental sway.
Talk to it in the tree language.
15.
15. Okay, so as you say that, and the dwarf and this thing are like grappling in the back, and you're running over, you're like, hey, what are you? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
What is it?
It does seem to respond to that. So, Oren, you feel it stop fighting you so much, and the grass kind of chills out at your words, and this thing seems to, its head, it can't turn its head because your beard holes are holding it.
Yeah.
But its attention seems to quiet. And again, you're not sure how you know this. It's just the sense of this creature, as it is definitely understanding what Saye is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And at this moment, a few drunk partygoers come around the other side of the house. So you see about 3 of them now, so more of them have joined, and Sylvia is just like at the head of this thing, and she's like coming around like, what's going on? Is everything okay? And the minute Sylvia steps around that corridor, the attention of the creature is completely fixated again on her, and that grapple immediately resumes. And then you begin to hear this roaring sound, like this whisper on the wind almost, coming from everywhere and nowhere. And then the bushes around the area start to move and form and coalesce into this humanoid kind of shape as this shambling vine monster begins to appear. And Sylvia screams as it begins to head immediately for her. We've got a new combatant on the field, everybody.
What the F?
What the shit?
Oh my god.
All right.
I have a feeling like this amberwood might not be such a great commodity.
It's kind
I
of
don't
mean.
think we should make our cabinets out of it.
I don't
Oh
think
my
it wants
God.
to be filled with wine.
All right, and so my monster is going to go ahead and attack you, Oren. It is now full rage mode. All right, so is an 18 going to hit your AC?
Not even close.
Fine, I'll try again. Okay, the 16 isn't going to hit either. It just can't seem to get... You're holding its body in weird ways, and it just can't land a hit on you. But Kara, go ahead. It is now your turn. So you're inside. You begin to hear more screaming.
Oh my god.
And the sound of, like, I don't know, plants being ripped off a wall? What does that sound like? Like angry vine monster sounds.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
That's
like.
dirt exploding. And
I like it. You should definitely be a one-man Foley artist.
yeah. I'm good at the Foley. It's on my resume.
Nope.
Don't worry about it.
Alright, so she's going to then kind of like just kind of drop his body, Phoebus's body on the ground. Is like, sorry, we'll be back.
You're like covered in his blood.
It's just like, oh, fucking Christ. The name of Paylor. And she wants to try and head out towards. Could you have been able to discern that like the screams are coming from like the back of the
definitely
house?
from the backyard.
So she's gonna go and try and find like a back entrance out and try and rendezvous with everyone. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you run out of the house and you get there on the scene at the end of your turn. You emerge right in the middle of this action. You see this shambling vine creature on one side, and you see that there's this armor thing duking it out with your dwarven companion on the other side.
Alright, she's going to try and impose herself between the shambling vine monster and Sylvia, 'cause she doesn't want any other civilians getting hurt in this.
Yeah.
And then, so then she'll, before she ends her turn, she'll use her bonus action to rage.
Not today, plant monster! Yeah, absolutely. So you
Nobody's
fly.
dying. I got questions to ask.
Classic Kara. Oh no, don't clap for that. Please don't. Don't encourage Sage. Thank you, good night. All right. And now my plant monster sees a shiny rage barbarian and is going to try and hit it.
Cling.
Boom. A 19? Is that gonna hit you?
That does hit. Exactly.
Goody. What's it do? Oh no. That's what it does. Rolling dice next to my hot dog. Rolling dice. 9 bludgeoning damage as vines shoot out of this thing and just begin to pummel you from all sides. And the strength of this creature is absolutely incredible. You're just being whipped with like grass and plants and like angry dirt that has formed to make this thing, hefting it round in front of you. All right, and so, oh yes. And you are grappled as vines ensorcel you, and now you are being like pulled towards around this creature. So we've got a grapple off on both sides happening here, which is pretty groovy. All right, and then that was its turn. So Oren, we're back up to you.
Right. So, how far is Oren currently from Sylvia?
From Sylvia, so she just came running around the house, so she's about 30 feet. So the vine mess, Sylvia, and Kara are about 30 feet away from you on one side of the backyard, and then you are there duking it out with the...
So, and does it feel like this thing is just kind of like trying to get at Sylvia, or has it focused its attention?
Now it has focused its attention on you,
yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's tired of having an obstacle. But it did seem to fly into a rage when Sylvia appeared specifically.
Interesting.
Huh. I think that I will let the grapple go, and I'm going to Oren will grab his axe as his interaction, and will attack the creature with his axe.
Okay. Yeah. Why? It's trying to hurt you.
Try to chop it.
Definitely.
Chop it down. So his first hack, I'm going to use this thing two-handed. So the battle axe is a versatile weapon, so I'm going to use it two-handed
Heck
to
yeah.
bump up that damage. And 22.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
No, sorry, 23. Yeah, 23.
Had to hit a 20, so good job.
Yay! Off right.
Good job, friend.
Get it going down. And right. Big dice. Look at these. God, that's fun. That is not great. 7 points of slashing damage.
All right.
This axe is magical as well, if it matters.
It does matter.
Well, there you go then.
All right.
And the extra attack, 23.
All right, you're doing it. You're doing work.
Nice.
Fell in the trees.
Look at that 10.
16 points of slashing damage.
Ew.
Crank.
No. Wait.
Crank.
Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, no.
Ouch.
Dang. Okay, yeah, so you get good, solid hits into this thing, and as you do, you just hit that right point on the joints. That armor begins to shatter. So you see the cracks in the wood now as it's beginning. You just clipped it right that spot. And as this armor just explodes, so you hit like a big piece of what would be a gauntlet, and it just goes flying off this thing, and there's like this image that almost flickers for a moment, and you begin to see what looks like a human hand floating in that same spot. And as you go ahead and you slash a shin piece, again, it's that same effect. So now you have this weird, like, ghostly, half armor, half visible skin thing is beginning to reveal itself to you as you slice these hits.
All right, Orin will, you're not the first spirit wood I've taken down, as he smashes at this thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so you are doing work over there, and then moving along, who are we at? Saye.
So, can I make a nature check?
Sure, what are you trying to puzzle out?
On this wood guy and what's happening with the grass and the bushes all interacting together. Are they like spirits of the wood, or I don't know, old folk stories of something like this in this area at all?
Definitely.
I don't know, something about that. 17.
Okay, there's definitely something going on. The land itself is tied to this creature, the way it's responding, and you're just starting to put some pieces together. Like, you heard about that elven history earlier, and maybe this is some kind of spirit summoned by the land to, I don't know, destroy these people, or there's clearly a larger connection going on. You don't have all the pieces yet, but it's all kind of coming into focus here. So you are probably dealing with one hell of a pissed off nature spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know, the big plant monster at summoned is like, oh, red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag, green flag. Oh.
Multicolored flag.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. It being a spiritual thing, I really don't feel comfortable trying to harm it anymore. So I want to try to talk to it again and say we can try to talk these people down from abusing their relationship with this wood here. Please, no one else has to get hurt here. We will work with you to make you happy again.
And this thing hasn't spoken to you previously, but now you begin to hear this low kind of rumbling sound that's verging on the edge of humanity as it says, they must pay. The price has already been charged. And as it speaks, it seems to come to you across the wind of the place itself.
I shout over to Sylvia and tell her to get down on her knees and apologize and beg.
She is screaming at this plant monster and has thrown her glass on the ground, and she is just absolutely like, so you have to go ahead and make a persuasion or intimidation or something to get to her.
Oh, no.
Aww.
Yeah, for my persuasion, that's 5.
Yeah, she is just screaming. This is one of the most horrifying things that has ever happened to her, and she just is so loud. She can't even hear you in your attempts. So you spend your turn trying to quell these spirits back and forth, and then we're going to jump over to our monster, who, after addressing that to you, and now he's going to run away from you, Orin, so you're going to get an attack of opportunity. He's charging towards Sylvia. Ooh.
I think this... I'll save it for next round. Yeah, sure. I'll use my reaction to try to smack him with the axe. Mm-hmm. Sylvia, hey? All right.
It certainly narrows down our list of suspects.
21.
21, yep, that's going to hit.
Yeah, all right. For 13.
Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Really hurting this thing. Time. Yeah, so you just crack it as it goes again, and you see, again, more of that armor falls away, and you begin to see now it's a lower torso of a humanoid figure. It's kind of slight. And what is going on with you in your face?
I'm trying to fix my costume.
Okay, all right. I'm just like, are you okay? All right. So it is. You see now that there is definitely a humanoid lower half that has been revealed. So you see just like bare feet running, not naked. I know that's what you're thinking, but in like leather breeches.
I am now.
That's all I can think about now.
Yes, there's just this naked bottom half with this horrible wooden mask.
Ugh.
Oh my god, I need a drink, you guys. This monster isn't doing it. So in this leather pair of breeches and just bare feet now with this weird ghostly armor on top of this thing and is charging with this sword towards Sylvia. And so you smash it, but it is singular in its purpose and it runs directly towards her and sidestepping the shambling mound and is going to bring its sword down on her.
Is Sylvia within 5 feet of me?
Yes.
I would like to use my reaction to use my fighting style of protection and to.
Sweet.
I'm gonna try because the shambling vine monster is like grapple with me. She's gonna try and like use that and try and impose herself between the tree creature and Sylvia, so that it's gonna get disadvantage on its attack roll.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a 1 and a 2. Fine. So you like impose, you're grappling with the shambling mound and you kind of like throw it in the way and this thing is bringing down its sword and it ends up chopping through its own creation as it's like, and that's just, it's a tangle of vines and this thing is trying to get at her and Sylvia's screaming and it's just this horrible mess. But nobody hits anybody as it, like in this little, little pile of nonsense. All right, so you successfully imposed that on her turn, and it is now actually your turn.
Kara says quietly to herself, "Oh, the tangled webs we weave." Feels very clever.
Super clever.
So, all right, so she's grappling with this thing. She's going to try and get out of it. Yes, she's going to try and get it out.
All right.
Get out of it.
Opposed grapples. Oh, there's another 2. Why, dice? Why are you feeling? It's the Chris
I rolled
Perkins
2
dice.
14s.
Why is
That's
it
kinda funny.
betraying me?
Yes, that will be 22.
You're not helping a plant monster anymore. You're like, no, plant. The plant is so shocked that it's been hit by its ally, and it just lets go. You're like, nope. So you are free of my plant creation.
And then I will action surge.
So many action surges this game. Rad. All right, yeah.
All right, get another action, and then she is going to try and grapple the tree monster, because like she's hearing Sai talk to it like, I don't really want to hurt you. I don't really want to make you cry.
Somewhere the drunk harp player stumbles in and is like, oh yes, next request. Yeah, all right. So we're grappling again. This is the grappling game. My God, let's go.
And she's just
It's a 2 again. That's 4 times in a row. That's not what.
Ooh, yes, I will definitely take that 17 plus 8.
Yum.
As soon as you like wrap your arms around it, I go, see, you are a tree hugger, just like me.
It's only because the stone wasn't talking to me earlier.
Great. So you're hugging the tree. And again, you get that sense of just frustration from this thing. You just keep getting in between it and its goal.
Oh.
Yep. So you have grappled it. Anything else for that turn?
I think that will do it.
Okay. All right. And then moving right along, we've got my vine monster. That is now free from all grapples. There we go. All right. So this monster, now free from all attentions on it, just moves in the shifting wave of vines towards Sylvia, who's just kind of fallen back with her drunken like party members around her, just like holding on for dear life to the ground. And it just crashes over her in a wave, and you see that these vines just tighten up around her, and you begin to hear choking sounds as she has been completely engulfed by this vine plant creation. You're still hearing sounds coming from her, but she probably don't have too long
Grim.
in this state. Oren.
Right. Can Oren make it over to Sylvia and the Vine Monster with a
definitely.
move? Yeah? All right, so he's going to go over there. I'm going to no shield, just with the big hefty battle axe, and I'm going to try to chop through some of those vines and free Sylvia. So,
Definitely.
all right.
Go ahead and make this with disadvantage since you're trying not to hit her.
Great, I'll make that with disadvantage then. So
It was a one.
there's 1.
Oh, bye.
Can't. Oh. It's disadvantage, I got a 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's not going to get better. This
No,
isn't
it
advantage.
can't go up from
All right,
there. So you are just chopping feebly at
no,
this
that
the
did not
vines.
work.
And you're trying not to hit her, and you're just getting the edges. You're like pruning this vine monster.
Okay,
At
I'm
this
gonna
point.
take my extra attack and see if I can
Do it.
one more time with disadvantage.
Yes.
18.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely gonna hit this thing. So you are chopping some of that around, and you see her arm just like gets out of this cluster of vines as she's trying to crawl out, and the vine thing is trying to crawl her back in, but you're giving her a leg out, literally, of this
You
creature.
are the worst bargainer, Sylvia. What did you give away or demand?
I did nothing. I don't understand what's happening. Oh my God! Get out of me! Ah. And she's just crying and like mud, and there's vines.
Oh my god.
Worst
14.
day ever.
14 slashing damage.
Wow.
Or
Okay.
in
Yeah.
ashes through it.
All right. So you keep her from perishing this round, and then Saya, it's up to you.
I will go over and help him try and get Sylvia out of the bushes,
Okay.
but without causing any damage to the bushes. I'm just trying to yank her out.
Okay. Go ahead and make a grapple.
12. No, that's 6. Okay,
Okay.
9.
Yeah. So you go over and you're trying to pull her out, but the vines are too strong, and she's just. So you're playing tug of war with Sylvia right now, with you and the vines, and you seem to be of equal strengths, unfortunately.
Oh my god. This is like some Looney Tunes.
This whole battle is ridiculous. All right, and then okay, my monster. Here we go. He is going to try and attack Sylvia with disadvantage since he is grappled. Ooh. There we go. Thank you. All right. Yep. Okay. So that is going to be a 24. So he just gets out of your grapple. Even so, he just kind of puts a hand like in your face and then goes and swings over that sword into that mass one more time.
Ooh. Okay.
What?
I was gonna say. Oh,
I'm about to describe it.
because of my sentinel feat, whenever a target attacks something other than me, I get to make an attack against it.
Dang. Okay. All right. Well, does that resolve before? Let's resolve it before. You see it's about to strike, so go ahead and make your swing.
Where am I? There it is.
All these feats coming into play. Look at that.
I'm gonna use my gift of the past to
To
reroll
reroll that? Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
want a bloody gift of the
There have been
past.
a lot of ones.
There we go.
Work
oh
for
my
the Sisters
god.
of Sarah, then you can get a gift.
That is a 27.
Wow. Yeah, that hits. Roll that
That'll do.
damage.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be yes with my Lady of the Lake longsword.
Yes. From that watery tote.
Oh yeah. Ooh, so that's 14 damage plus the cold damage, so another 4 cold damage.
Oh, that's a big old 0.
Hey.
All right, so as you go and you crash down, this creature is just about to land and strike a blow on Sylvia, who is immersed in these tangled vines, clearly helpless in that moment. But before it can land, you swoop in and lop off the helmet of this thing that just shatters and like glistens in the sun as it just collapses into shards. And you see that now a figure not made of wood or anything just stands before you, and it seems to be a young-looking elven man dressed in plain kind of work clothes, you would say. And as this armor just breaks and your sword goes through it, he kind of looks down in this dazed way, and then looks up at all of you. And he's not holding a sword or a weapon anymore. He just kind of holds up his hands, and you see that now, as this armor is disintegrated, that the vines around Sylvia just fall completely limp, as they've lost all willpower to carry on. And she is catching her breath on the ground, and she looks up. Lyle? And she's looking at the elven man, and he's like, I had to. It was my And he begins to take off towards the forest, just trying to run. And she's like, "That's my gardener! Stop him!"
If there's anything that foes in Venture Maiden should have learned, it's never a run away from Kara while she is raging.
Attack of opportunity.
Because you'll get an axe to the leg.
Oh.
Axe to the knee, axe to the knee.
It's time to do some pruning.
You're running too fast. Let's stop it.
Long sword for a 29 to hit.
Yeah.
And because of the sentinel feat, whenever I hit a creature with an attack of opportunity, their speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn.
So do you want to do that by chopping off his leg?
Yeah, I do.
I had a feeling that was where that was going. Which one do you want to chop off? The left one or the right one, or both?
Which one does he like more?
He looks like a left leg kind of guy.
Yeah. Let's go for that one.
All right, yeah. So you're like, "Not today!" And you just swing up that sword, and a limb goes flying. And he's like, he runs and goes to take that step down on the left, and it just isn't there anymore as he collapsed sideways onto the ground, spurting blood. And he is just lying like in the grass now, kind of like shaking, stunned. He still sort of has this glazed look in his eye as he's like bleeding on the ground. And Sylvia, too, has now kind of picked herself up. She's like, "Lyle, what are you doing here? What's that? This is..." And she's absolutely gone hysterical, and he's just kind of rocking back and forth on the ground. Bleeding out rapidly. So if there's anything you want to say to him, I would say it quick. He's not going to last very long.
I can cauterize his wound.
You could.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
an option. What do we want to do? We could do a lot of things in this moment.
He doesn't have to bleed out and die. I'm gonna cauterize his wound.
Okay.
Yeah, just a small little flame, and I'm like, bite something. This is gonna hurt.
You were part of the amberwood tree thing that he was
I
a
hand
part
his
of?
leg back to him. Bite onto that.
Whoa.
Too dark?
Oh man, I think that's an alignment shift right there. That's evil as fuck. I'm gonna save you.
I'm gonna save you, but first.
But first, eat of your own flesh. God, you guys are
sorry, yeah.
terrifying.
Always
Okay.
try to give people a leg up in life.
All right, so you cauterize this, and I'm going to assume you don't actually want to put his own leg in his mouth. Because I believe in you and your goodness.
I'm sorry, that was the best one. The
I'll
best
make it
one I've
up.
ever done. That was so good.
You've heard it here, folks, live. We did the best Kara. Kara living her best life.
Oh my god.
God. So you cauterize the wound on Lyle, who, this young elven man now he's laying in the grass, and Sylvia is just kind of babbling, and he looks up at all of you, and I had to do it for my people. They were destroying it, the land here, and I was the one chosen. I had to do this. And Sylvia, you've been kind to me, but you had to die. They all had to die to make this stop. And he looks towards, like, the tree line where you can see all of this felled, like, logging that has been happening as the wood has just been torn away and the land is being destroyed. He's like, "I wish you would have let me die. The power's gone now. Do whatever you want with me." And she's like, "Oh, Lyle." And there's just that sort of moment, and she's like, "Do what you will with him. Suppose we have our criminal."
Well,
Oh, you're the good and just one.
Dead leg in mouth? Really?
Yeah, that says something.
yeah, well, I'm afraid we are going to have to take you back to the sheriff and explain what's been happening here. And Sylvia, I think you also might want to have a meeting with your company and as well as the other families of this town, whoever's left in charge of manufacturing, and make some reforms to how much of this land you seem to have taken. I don't think, speaking now to him, both of them, I don't think that death is the appropriate punishment for people abusing their land. I can understand where you're coming from, and I know it's hard to see your land be destroyed like that, but their lives matter too, and they can learn from their mistakes, just as we're not going to take your life from you.
It's already over. I will face your judgment, he says. And then he goes quiet. And Sylvia, though, nods and, yeah, I will. And I will do all I can to change this. I didn't even know. I just didn't know. And so are you taking Lyle back to the sheriff?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Siegfried.
Siegfried.
Yep, so you take him back to Siegfried and you kind of explain everything that's been happening, all these bizarre circumstances, and that an old curse, the people of the land reaching back through time, were just trying to make things right. But you stepped in and you saved at least one life, maybe even Lyle's. But you have solved the mystery of Woodridge, and while it doesn't feel completely like a victory, you did accomplish your job, and you all worked well together.
It was not. It was not done quietly.
It was not quiet. It certainly wasn't pretty, but that's where we're ending today. You guys have survived another one shot. Thank you so much for playing, you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, John, for joining us.
Yeah,
that was
so
amazing.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
God, you guys, thank you guys so much. This was so cool to
Thank
be able to
you
do
for
this for
joining
you
us.
guys. Yeah, and so we're gonna end the game here, but we are gonna do a Q&A session. So I'm gonna take off this really hot cape, and I'm sure that helmet has to come off. But so we're gonna reset and kind of do like a little Q&A. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask us, we'll do. Yeah, we got about 30 minutes for that. So
Take a 5.
Take a 5. Yeah, if you guys want to stand up, go to the bathroom
my God,
maybe
go
and come
pee.
back in. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. Or no, you're on to stay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm taking off my freaking cloak.
Yeah,
oh my
these
gosh.
have to come off.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah,
Oh my gosh.
hit us.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
yes.
I'm looking at this hot dog.
I got some
like,
French fries over here that I'm like, man.
we can all pull out our snacks. And
Can I take this off? You guys can hear me.
Oh, well, are we still streaming?